Kate here from Newline. Wanted to talk about some of the questions that have been coming through about, hey, I have a substitute teacher coming into my room. What is the best way for them to maximize the panel, especially if I don't give them access to my computer or I don't leave it for them? So excellent question, and definitely a scenario that I think a lot of you out there can relate to. So a couple of really easy ways to allow your day, hopefully to keep rolling for your substitutes and really maximize the time that they have in the classroom, would be one of the fan favorites, just to use this onboard browser right on the home screen of the panel. Great thing about this onboard browser is that if you have tabs pulled up, so maybe there's things you use every day, or you do set stuff up ahead of time. So big shout out to Kathleen, who's another one of our trainers. That's one of her favorite pro tips is you're gonna be out, go ahead, line everything up for your sub and just be like, tab 1 is activity 1. But you can go ahead and have all of your things ready to go for your substitute teachers. So whether it's planned ahead or maybe, it's a sudden absence, you don't plan to be away, but you're not going to make it in, you can say, hey, we do word of the day every day. It's up in the tabs and you can grab it and go. So really, really nice to be able to use this. It's a time saver for you, from a day-to-day standpoint. And of course, it does help organize content for your substitute teachers so they can cover the things that you want to have covered to keep your curriculum rolling, even if you are away. So we'll say tab 1 is activity 1. I would just give the direction. When you open up the tab, you're going to see a little link that says printable version. All you have to do is tap that. And what's going to happen, say I've opened this a hot time, so we're going to just hit download again. But you can open it up with options. I'll say there are some nice annotation options if you hit open with Office Suite. So I'm going to hit just once. And then that worksheet that I want my substitute teacher to do is going to pop right open. I'm going to close my side toolbar. And why I'm going to do that is really, really nice. That PDF, you can see there's a little pen that has popped up. So again, that kind of leads you down the road of, hey, maybe we want to do this worksheet and I want to mark it up. Really great way to do that. So all I have to do is tap the pen down on the bottom right, and we're going to go ahead and free draw, which means I have the ability to use my thin point stylus to mark in any of these, or I can use my finger for any of these. So just, I'll say, kind of notice how you can do that, which is fantastic. Probably not going to have our students put our names unless they have their own copies of this worksheet, and then we're just kind of going through it together. But if I wanted to, we can go through and we can start marking what is opinion, what is fact, all of that kind of great stuff, which is awesome. Again, I can scroll up and down. So that way, when I'm using that markup tool, that little pen that was down on the bottom right, I can mark up the PDF, I can scroll, and we can actually go through the entire worksheet together very smoothly. So that's one nice thing that you can do. So I definitely wanted to point that out. And we're going to pop back into that browser. So now we've done activity 1 and tab 1. We can pop over to activity 2. So maybe it's time to talk about math. So this is just, I'll say, a fun math website that has math games and worksheets and all sorts of fun stuff. It goes K through 8. So maybe you're like, hey, it's 7th grade math or whatever you may be teaching. You can pop in there, let the students pick what video, or I want you to choose, XYZ video, whatever it may be. And you can go ahead, you could even go so far as to have the video, the worksheet, or whatever it is queued up. But I'm going to pop back. Just want to show that, you do have a lot of options in here. So maybe, math time is tab number 2. Continuing over, again, great things that you can do to just kind of pull curriculum for your day, which is fantastic. I know this is another website that a lot of folks do use. So this is from Khan Academy. I had the kind of the area that we were going to work on already queued up, which is kind of nice. So everything that we're going to do, let's say it has a video right here that is embedded. So I don't have to worry about all the extra stuff that sometimes comes in. But you can go through and play this lesson for your students. So again, very nice having stuff ready to go. We're going to pop into another website just to give you, again, some additional options for curriculum, places to go for substitute faculty that may not have a computer attached. So this is another one. This is just k5learning.com. And what I did is I just grabbed a story. So this is a 5th grade story. And they're going to read the story, or you can read the story together. And then there are some questions. So all I have to do is click on story. And what's going to happen is just, I'm going to hit download again, because again, I've used it before. It's going to ask me where I want to open this. I'm going to go back to Office. So that way it just pops right open in that PDF. And again, makes it very easy. You do have that little pen down on the bottom right. But as we go through, you know, we can read it. I can have students alternate. I don't know if you guys have seen the meme online that's like, have you ever counted the students and then how many passages so you could practice the one that you needed to read? I was 100% that student, so I will fully admit that. But you could go through. There are all sorts of options in here, which is fantastic. So alternate, read together, whatever it may be, you read silently. And as everybody goes through, again, I'm just scrolling. It tells you exactly how long all of these stories are going to be, which is fantastic. You know, other things that you can do, maybe we're circling sight words, or we're circling, you know, key vocab words, or, you know, just being able to bring up a story. And then could students come in and circle an adjective or a noun or parts of speech? So really, really nice from that perspective, just adding, again, another element of interaction for your curriculum. But as we go down, here we are. So we do have questions that come in with this. And again, I can zoom in and out a little bit, which is kind of handy. So you work whatever works best for you. But again, I was just doing a pinch to zoom. And I have my annotation tool that is built into PDF, my edit mode, just down there. To exit edit mode, all I have to do is hit the book. So we're going back into reader mode. So if I did prefer to use my onboard annotation tool from my side toolbar, that third icon down, I could also do that. So lots of options. We're going to pop back into the browser. You know, maybe we're going to have a video queued up. So if you're a PBS Kids user, kind of nice from that standpoint, you could have a story pulled up. So what, you know, if it's the next story in a series, or hey, we do story time right after lunch, you know, it's going to be tab 5. It's ready to go for you, which is fantastic. Perhaps it's time for science and you're working, you know, in a STEM lab, or you're a science teacher, whatever it may be. Maximizing all of those online simulations from FET out of Colorado. So this is the pH scale. Everything here is interactive. So your students can just come up, they can use their very technical stylus, or they can just use their fingers, and we can look at the pH of all sorts of different liquids. I do giggle because students always see vomit. They're like, and I say, sure, unless you are the school nurse, and then it just does not have the same appeal because you're dealing with vomit all day long. But now they have all sorts of different things that they can move around and do and check. So again, just giving you a nice virtual lab. Your lovely substitute teacher is not going to have to worry about passing out lab supplies. They're going to appreciate that, or cleanup or anything else. But FET, if you have not checked it out, has just oodles of online simulations. So you could even have, you know, this website pulled up in a couple of tabs for a couple of different simulations or things that are going to tie into your curriculum, which is fantastic. Last thing I have kind of pulled up in my tabs here, and I could add more tabs just so you know, you could have extra ones pulled up, but I just kind of wanted to fill up my frame here, as maybe we're going to be talking about different animals. So I can go ahead and pause. I had a video queued up. So one thing that I did, which was kind of handy, is before I closed down the panel or closed down the browser, I actually played, there was a pretty benign, but there was an ad. So I played the ad and then I paused the video. So it was queued up and ready to go, which is kind of neat. So I'm just kind of looking at that. But if you wanted to, again, you can have your YouTube videos queued up and ready to go. So lots of different things to leverage within the browser on the home screen of the panel. And that's just one way to grab content without having to worry about a connected computer. Of course, Another option would be if there are apps that you use all day long, add those apps to the home screen. So that way, again, it's easy for your substitute teacher to find the things that they need to use. So going back to science, I do have a little biology app just grabbed. So I'm going to go ahead and pop in there, and nice and interactive. So what this is it allows you to touch different parts of the cell, which is just kind of the activity that was chosen, and it will tell you, you can see up here, it kind of changes based on what you select to what parts of the cell it is. So lots of different ways to leverage, but those are going to be, say, two of the most popular, but of course be leveraging the browser and then leveraging apps that you can add here. Have them lined up for those folks that are coming in to help you out, make their day easier so they want to come back and help you again, and also hopefully make it easy so they can keep rolling with your curriculum and you're not going to have to backpedal. So questions, keep them coming. Again, this is how we create new content. Anything you need, don't be shy, reach out. We are here to support you, and we hope you are enjoying your Newline panels. We'll talk again soon.